Research Methodology and Data Analysis. Lesson 17. The step-by-step guide in writing a research proposal. The introductory paragraph. 1. To make the audience understand the urgent need for a solution to the problem or the research to determine the right methods to remedy the existing problem in order to bring the situation back to normal. 2. To highlight what has gone wrong and the potential threat it will bring to the survival of an organization, and hence a research is required. 3. To highlight the gap in literature or the knowledge gap occurs. Thus, a research work is needed in order to address that particular gap. Example 1, an introductory paragraph. The passing of Private Higher Education and Institution Act, FIA 1996, by the Malaysian Parliament has brought a competitive environment in higher education industry to a level that no one has ever dreamt before. Today, there are 20 public universities, 21 private universities, and almost 500 private institutions of higher learning competing for potential candidates. The problem statement. 1. Highlight an existing problem affecting the future survival of an organization. 2. Highlight the present policy or method that no longer seems to be working. 3. Highlight something that need close attention, such the increase in customer complaints, declining in sales volume. 4. Highlight current trend, current need, or current technology that your organization needs to adapt and change accordingly. The problem statement. 5. Highlight the changes in socio-economic variables such as lifestyle, consumer income, etc. that might affect the long-term survival of your organization. 6. Highlight the literature gap. The gap can either be the specific research has not been carried out previously, or certain important variables were not studied in previous researches, or the population of the study has changed significantly in terms of their socio-economic status which requires a new research, etc. Example, the problem statement. We live in a constantly changing environment. What happens today may be completely different from what would happen tomorrow. Tomorrow was essentially an extended trend line from yesterday is no longer true nowadays. The global economy means that your competitors are likely to come from across the oceans, as from across towns. In the highly competitive environment, the growth and survival of any business entity is not guaranteed if the management is not efficient in terms of time and cost. Problem statement. Explain how the problem relates to business, social, or economic trends by presenting data that demonstrate the scope and depth of a problem. Among the evidence to support the problem are secondary data, graph showing declining trend against time, increasing complaints, refunds by customers, and worrying comments by the expert in the field. The objectives of the study. The objective of the study is what you intend to accomplish in the study. You need to tell your audience what you plan to achieve in solving the problem. If you have more than one objective, you can list them specifically after your introductory sentence. Example, the objectives of the study. Specifically, this study aims to achieve the following objectives. 1. To identify the main factors that influence demand on Islamic financing. 2. To measure the relationship between quality and customer acceptance. 3. To determine the effects of product image on customer repurchase. The research questions. Research questions are ambiguities that the researcher would like to address in his research. In the research, he intends to determine the answer to his research questions. Research questions often came into researcher's mind after he sets his research objectives. These questions are normally similar to the questions from the audience regarding the underlying problem. The research questions. A good researcher is able to predict the questions that will come from the audience, and will include these questions as his research questions when he prepares his proposal. Hence, there is no more ambiguity arise after the research is completed, since all questions have been addressed by the research. If the research is completed with many unanswered questions, then that particular research is a failure. Example, research questions. 1. Does the level of service provided to customers have significant influence on their willingness to recommend the products to their families and friends? 2. Does the corporate image of the organization have significant effects on customer loyalty towards the organization? 3. Does the service recovery made by the top management manage to stop customers from switching to other banks? The research hypotheses. A hypothesis is a tentative statement made by a researcher regarding the underlying problem in his research. It provides the direction of a research study, such as the variables of interest, the method of data analysis, and the format of report writing. Hypothesis is a declarative statement by a researcher, and he will prove it with data analysis. Please continue the following lesson. Thank you for watching.